Welcome to this video. We're about to replace the screen on an iPhone 6 Plus white and add a screen protector. So we're going to start by taking out the pantalobe screws on the bottom. Now we're going to pry open the bottom using the isosimo tool, making sure to not crack the old screen. And we notice here that there's plates missing, one for the battery and one for the connectors at the top. This is bad, but they're Indian, so we're not going to tell them. Checking the rest of the phone for any dust or debris. Disconnecting the battery, and now disconnecting the top flex. We'll set the phone aside. Now we'll remove the home button plate and the home button. Notice how there's one screw missing from the home button plate. Just removing the home button now. Be really careful with that, otherwise you'll break the home button and ruin the Touch ID. So now we're taking the plate off the proximity flex and the earphone speaker. Very carefully pulling up where the sensors are, and then pulling it up where the microphone is. Now we take all the 6 screws out of this phone, out of the heat spreader. This one only had 5. Very gently going to pull up the connection flex for the home button. It's glued, and if you break it you'll have to pay for a new one. Now we're going to pull the heat spreader off the old screen. This is the final step for the old screen. Now we check to see if it's genuine. So now we're checking to see if it's genuine, and it is. So now it can be recycled, even though I was told it was a replacement screen. Now we'll set that aside and grab the new screen. Peel off the protective film. Grab the flex at the top, which is not always put up. Put the heat spreader back on. Now we put the screws in the heat spreader. Try to get them all back in, but realistically you only need 4. Be really careful with this. Now we put the connector back into the slot. Remember, don't over tighten any of the screws. Now we put the home button in, connect it to the flex. Careful not to damage anything. Home button plate back on with at least 2 screws. If it only has 1 screw, take it off the hole next to it, or take it off as screws from the side. They're the same size. Now we put the proximity flex in, align the microphone in the hole, grab the speaker, put the sensors inside the sensor hole, put the earphone speaker in, and put the contact patches on top. Wiggle it around to make sure the earphone speaker is in place. Now we put the plate back on and put the free screws in. Make sure you get the free screws, otherwise it'll come out and the customer will come back. The iPhone 6 Plus is the hardest of the 6s because it's larger and more fragile than the regular 6. The 6S is a lot harder to break. But still, don't over tighten any screws. So now we're done. We're going to put it back in. We're going to put all the top flexes in first, and we're not going to put back the plates, even if it had any. Put the battery connector on and turn it on.